أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين.
Suhail from UK. I wanted to ask, what's the difference between the two Asr timings? And is there a specific time we should follow?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah. With regards to the two Asr times, is there a specific time we should follow, etc.? In general, in brief, there's khilaf among the majority of the fuqaha and some of the fuqaha of the Hanafi madhab. Perhaps there are a few other ulama on the side, but it's become well known to be the madhab al-Hanafi. Whether it's the view of all of the Hanafi jurists or not, some of them, al-Muhim, that's the mu'tamad. That's the famous, well-known, widespread opinion of them. The Jumhur al-Ulama, they hold the view that as soon as Dhuhr leaves, it's time for Salat what? Al-Asr. And the Hanafi ulama, they say no. There's a time later on, a different level, a different stage and phase of the sun. That is the preferred time for Salat al-Asr. There lies no doubt the opinion which is safest, the safest view. They didn't say necessarily strongest, which it is the strongest view, in my humble opinion. But the view that's ahwat, whether you're Hanafi or not, is to follow the view of the Jumhur in this issue and to make Salat al-Asr as soon as it comes in. And there's two times. We have the waqtul ikhtiyar and the waqtul ittirar. Preferred time and a time in which is unlawful to make Asr unless you have an excuse. Unless you have a what? An excuse. So it's a very technical issue. The adillah of the ulama, the Hanafi madhab in this view is not that strong at all. It's not that strong at all. Al-Muhim, make the salah at its earliest time with regards to Salat al-Asr. However, if you follow the Hanafi madhab, you're following the Hanafi imam in the salah, or you didn't pray the congregation yet, pray with them. My personal advice, qawlu jumhur in this issue, without a doubt. And make Asr as soon as it comes in to the well-known calculation of most of the fuqaha. And do not delay it according to that of the Hanafi madhab. However, as we said once again, covering our tracks again, if that's what you follow, those are the ulama that you ask, you respect, you listen to, you make taqleed of them, then do what? The sin is not upon you. The sin is what? It's not upon you. If they're wrong, it's not upon you. If they're right, alhamdulillah. Those fuqaha that have studied and listened, it's not your responsibility. But if you read the text, if it makes sense, if it's clear to you that the correct view is that of the Jumhur, then that's what you should follow, no doubt about that. Wallahu alam. See your book, Yusuf, please.
Initials ST from New York. Is it permissible to practice grappling for self-defense due to the closeness of the body?
Is it permissible to practice grappling for self-defense due to the closeness of the bodies? What's important is the Prophet ﷺ has prohibited us from looking at each other's awrah. Hadith we read last week. لا ينظر الرجل إلى عورة الرجل ولا المرأة إلى عورة المرأة. Hadith Abi Sa'id al-Khudri in Sahih Muslim. Another ayat, other hadith, other text, prohibiting the believer from looking at everything. Also, he says, وَلَا يُفْضِ الرَّجُلُ. A man should not touch another man's awrah. You're not supposed to touch another man's what? Awrah. So looking at the awrah, touching the awrah, directly contact with the awrah, clearly prohibited. Wrestling, grappling, doing things like this, learning how to fight, how to defend yourself, or even for good health, things like this, inshallah, it's permissible. Inshallah, it's what? Permissible, let alone if it's a necessity. You live in a place in which you must have basic skills of self-defense. Basic what? Skills of self-defense. And if you're not experienced on what to do and how to do, you may be victimized. Waliyadu billah. Someone may victimize you, especially in 2017, in which the Muslims, unfortunately, many of them are being victimized by the kuffar, taking advantage of them. Everybody understand this? So whether it's judo or grappling, wrestling, boxing, whatever type of self-defense system, everybody understand this? that you have to learn and practice is permissible. As long as it doesn't involve you looking at someone's aura and you touching someone's aura, coming in direct contact with it. As far as grappling, then obviously, as she said, or he or she, the nature of the sport, the nature of the act is that it's close. Doesn't necessarily mean it's haram. I'm not grabbing you to grab your genitals or to touch your behind. We're practicing, moving on the ground, learning how to have stamina, how to have strength, techniques, sleeper hold, press on his neck, put him to sleep. Wallahu alam. Fadl Talib.
Can you remind the people to ask the questions in the format?
Please don't forget to ask the questions in the format. Initials, or if you want to put your name, put your name. If not, at least your initials, city and state.
How to make use of the classes to the fullest extent.
How to make uses of the classes to the full extent. Review them. Alhamdulillah, the classes are for free. They're on the channel. Walillahi alhamd. Most of them. A few classes didn't get uploaded, a few things, but 9 out of 10 of them are off there. Walillahi alhamd. Right now on the channel, it's about maybe, I don't know what, 1,300 classes, 1,300 videos. Make review. 10-minute classes, 5 minutes of faida, lecture, khutbah, just review it. Keep listening, and also write them down, record them, make notes of them, make index cards in them. That's fine. For your benefit, you give it to us, we can put it on a website, put it in a book, whatever. Everybody should contribute. So the best way of making use of the classes, firstly, is to implement them. You learn something, implement it. Everybody understand this? Review the information, pass it on to others. Because, wallahi alhamd, by Allah's grace, hadithdisciple, alhamdulillah, has reached many people. Alhamdulillah, it wasn't supposed to reach. It was supposed to reach with Allah's qadr, about according to what we felt. And what we get emails from all over the world without any exaggeration. I can show you. All over the world. I've watched the videos, it changed my life, this, that, wallahi alhamd. Alhamdulillah. So, if you want to maximize the benefit, don't just listen to the class once, review it, write it down, summarize the points, and pass it on what? To others, because there are many people that are in dire need of the stuff that we talk about on a daily basis. Dire need. Wallahi alhamd.
This is M-A-R. Is it just to say that the great Imam Abu Hanifah rahimahullah was weak in terms of hadith? I know he is one of the greatest fuqaha, if not the greatest.
Tayyib. We say, anyone who wishes to learn about Abu Hanifah and his stance in the science of hadith, he has not to do anything more but read the books of hadith. It's just that simple. Read Kutub al-Rijal. Don't take it from me, this one, that one. Go back to the Kutub that talk about the narrators of hadith in the 2nd century, and you'll see and you'll find what those ulama said about Abu Hanifa's narration. It's just that simple. Peanut butter and what? Jelly. It's easy. 1, 2, bismillah. Go back and read Kutub al-Rijal, and don't take it from anybody else. If you can't read Arabic, if you don't know how to use Kutub al-Rijal, then perhaps that shows you that this is an issue that you shouldn't be discussing and concerning yourself with. It's beyond your reach. But if you can read Arabic, you want to study, read the books of Rijal, and you yourself will find what the ulama of hadith said about Abu Hanifa in hadith. Stop the tape there, pause. You're also going to come across other things they said about Abu Hanifa in aqidah, akhlaq, all other things, even about his fiqh. So it's much more than just hadith. Baynaka wa baynahum, between you and them is the information. Read it. Some things are lies, some things are inaccurate, and many things are true. In those books about Imam what? Abu Hanifa. Everybody got this? That's the bottom line. Is he the greatest of the fuqaha? That in itself is a harsh statement. To say one man is the greatest faqih ever. It's extremely harsh. If not more than that to say. I'll say that. It's what? Extremely harsh to say that about anybody. Imam Shafi was the greatest faqih. Can't necessarily say that. That statement is a ripe, lush pasture for ta'assub, for fanaticism. The Hanbali madhab is the asah al-madhahib wa aqrabuha ila al-kitab wa-sunnah. It's ta'assub, it's fanaticism and bigotry to say that about someone. He was from, kana min, narju, nahsabuhu, narahu, kada, so on and so forth. We think, we see, perhaps. But to say that statement, we have to relax. As the Prophet ﷺ said, as-sayyidu huwa Allah. They said, you are our sayyid, the best of us, the son of the best of us. He says, as-sayyidu huwa Allah. Allah is the master. Allah is the what? The master. He says, قُولُمْ قَوْلَكُمْ أَوْ بَعْدَ قَوْلِكُمْ. Say what you wish to say, or some of it. لَا يَسْتَهْوِيَنَّكُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ. أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, says, but don't allow Satan to catch you in his snare. Don't allow Satan to trip you up and throw you off course by giving these alqab, dakhma, these huge, heavy praises. Don't allow shaitan to trip you up by going extreme, being a bigot, being a fanatic, saying things that you really don't honestly know. Everybody understand this? So that's the bottom line of Abu Hanifah. There were ulama who wrote books on him, for him and against him. There are people who said very, very, very harsh things about him that you read. And the ulama who basically put him on the status of ilah, made him a god, pretty much. Unfortunately, obviously that which is best is what? Is balance. And to say and to take what is there, what's authentic. And to reject that which is inauthentic. If you come across authentic statements saying that he was clearly weak in hadith, then you can't run and hide and, oh no, and no. It doesn't work like that. You come across clear dalil, stating that he had major problems in his aqidah. You can't just say, oh no, well, no. It doesn't work like that. It's not about your desire. It doesn't your fickle or your fancy. It's about evidence, proof, dalil, that's clear. Everybody got this? And at the end of the day, if Abu Hanifa was weak in hadith, okay, what's the big problem? He doesn't have to be a hadith master. If he was a great scholar of fiqh, that's more than enough blessing right there. Everybody doesn't have to be a master of everything. Some people were. Some of the ulama were. Everybody got this? Some of them were. And everybody doesn't have to necessarily be. What's important is that you stay away from fanaticism and bigotry. And if you want to know the truth about Abu Hanifa, what the ulama of hadith said about him, I can't give you no better advice than read those books and you be the judge yourself. Wallahu alam. Fadl Jamil.
Langley.
What's the ruling when somebody like says stuff like, I wish Allah made like dogs permissible, like wishing something that's haram in the deen.
Wishing something is permissible. I wish that Allah made something permissible. I wish Allah made dogs permissible. That statement shouldn't be made. Don't make that statement. Don't even feel that in your heart. You know that you like dogs. I was a non-Muslim before Islam, or I just like dogs. Dogs are cool, they're decent, they're smart, they're strong, they help people out. That. And that's it. That's it. You thinking about it, feeling it, wishing for it, don't necessarily do that. It's just that simple. Or we say, perhaps, person, if you like dogs so much, you use dogs in a permissible way. Learn how to hunt. And then you can have a dog for hunting. Work in security. And you can have a what? Everybody understand this? A German Shepherd. Getting too many ideas. But I'm saying, if it's a fitna for you, you see what I'm saying to you? That's better if you wishing that something clearly made haram, halal. And that's going to lead you to a slippery slope, without a doubt. It's going to lead you to what? Slippery slope. Wallahu alam.
Muawi Langley. Assalamu alaikum ya Sheikh. Can the Quran be recited in congregation? For example, in my school, the student would sit in a halaqah and recite Juz Amma from beginning to end, or any surah for that matter.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Akhil Kareem. As the people knowledge say, it depends on what's the purpose of reciting the Quran in congregation. Review, study, that's one thing. As a class, everybody practice the same thing at once, read it all together, mathalan. Or reciting the Quran in congregation because of barakah, or presentation, or dhikr. And that's, you say no, because that's not what Muhammad did and taught. That's not what Muhammad ﷺ instructed. Yatadawrasun, the hadith says, studying the Quran with each other. Yatluna, reciting Allah's book. Yatadawrasunahu bainahum, studying it among each other. That's not what's meant. That's not what the Sahaba did. However, if we sit in a class like we did the hadith, An Abi Hurairah, Wa an Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. That's one thing. Labas. There's nothing wrong with that. But not just doing it just to do it in congregation like congregational dhikr. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Initial NB from Toronto. May Allah bless you, Sheikh. If you already discussed this, then I will find a video. But can you touch on how one can lead a life Islamically and to aid their memory, like avoid certain places even though they are permissible, avoid certain friends, etc., not just foods and such, etc.
With regards to living an Islamic lifestyle, increasing your memory, strengthening your memory, avoiding things which could weaken your memory, harm your memory, foods, places, this and that, individuals, etc. Yes, we have spoken on this many times. The videos are there, but we'll give you just a bit, inshallah ta'ala, like the rest of the summarized answers. We say, with regards to foods and drinks, I don't think they're asking about that, where they mention people. Who's the person that is distracting you or weakening your memory? Your brother in Islam or your blood brother? Someone who's your blood brother, he has rights over you. Even if he's talking nonsense and stupidity or distracts you from studying, he still has what? Still has rights over you. Someone who's just your brother in Islam, he has some rights, or your sister in Islam, but not like actual blood. So your level of closeness or remoteness from them is going to depend on who they are. My friend is not like my actual blood. Everybody got this? What's important is that anyone who distracts you from Allah and His Rasul, anyone who distracts you from you making the necessary review and revision, then you should limit your dealings with them. Limit your dealings with them to the best, or to the best you can. You can't just totally cut off your brother or your uncle, but limit it. I'm your family member, I'll give you your haqq. That doesn't mean I have to be your friend. That does not mean I have to be your what? Doesn't mean that. But you have to give them the basic haqq. So the first thing is that you want to limit your dealings with him. The time, the place where you go, limit it. Number two is, if they visit you, or if you have the ability for them to come into your turf, your territory, your stadium, that's even better. You come, you sit down, I give you tea, eat biscuits, how you doing, you're talking, while you're talking, I'm doing something that doesn't take the necessary mental focus. I'm preparing something, I'm organizing something, I'm cleaning my library, I'm brushing off the books, I'm putting stamps on my books. I'm doing something constructive, something that pertains to some type of knowledge, but at the same time, I'm entertaining you as my guest. And not just allowing them to just have you totally away from your ilm. Talking about fulan and fulana. Everybody got this? This was some of the ulama of the past used to do. When they had the different quills, there was no staples back in the day. You didn't just order a fountain pen off online. No, you had to make your stuff yourself. Or buy the things, go to the marketplace. So many ulama, they would cut the paper or the parchment themselves. They would prepare the ink themselves. They would make the quills themselves. So when certain guests came over and they knew those guests, they needed something from them. I need to talk to you about something. I need to complain. I need your help. Or family member, كيف حالك? أهلا, فضل, مرحبا. How you doing, akhi? Alhamdulillah, good? Okay. Nah, mashallah, tell me more. In which you're not idle, you're not void. Even if you're just looking through and flipping through the context of a book, you're still talking to somebody. Well, it's not necessarily rude. It's not necessarily what? It's not necessarily rude. And obviously, some people, they may get offended. Or there may be some people or some things in which you do have to give your undivided attention to. And that's fine. When Allah tests you with somebody that takes you away from studies, be patient. And perhaps it's from a sin that you made. Perhaps it's from a time in which you could study, you could read, but you chose not to. Now, it's being, you understand what I'm saying? So be patient. And as soon as the person leaves, or you're done with them, you hit the books. You go back to your books. So there's a balance, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Muhim is if you govern your life a certain way, if you live a life a certain way, if you're serious, if you're sincere, the people are going to be forced to respect it. Whether they like it or not, they're going to be forced to respect it. They're going to know, I can't bring this nonsense to her. I can't bring this nonsense to him. Because I know this person is all about studying. How can that? Ever got this? People that you don't have to deal with, people that you can push over or not push over, push to the side or delay the meeting, then that's what you do. That's what you do. And some people you're going to have to tell them, is it important? What exactly do you need? Okay, I'll talk to you after my class. And it's just that simple, but keep a balance. Don't cut yourself off from the people that may need you. You may be busy, but they may need you. And it may be a means of honor that Allah allowed you to be the one to counsel this person and to speak with this person. So everything is a what? Is a balance. Can't go extreme. And sometimes you may push somebody far away from the deen by seeing too extreme to them in their eyes. All you do is study. All you do is read. Sit down, talk with them. Talk about football. Nothing. It's not going to hurt. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not something you do every day, all day, but it's not going to what? And it may bring that person what? Closer. Like that. He's a real guy too. She's a real sister too. She likes things too. Labas. Everybody understand this? As far as places, the same applies. You have to go to the marketplace. Go to the marketplace. Put your trust in Allah. Lower your gaze. And as we said before, make sure that you have an agenda. You should have an agenda. I go into the store with a what? An agenda. We go to Walmart, we see this one, that one, okay, and blah, blah, blah. But we what? We're looking for something. Where the quilts, Yusuf? Where the pillows? We have a what? An agenda. The moment we buy our stuff, we what? Done. This happens, this lady brushes up to you, Yusuf touches you in the back. You know, qadr Allah. You can't do nothing about that. But you keep, that's collateral damage. That wasn't your what? Yeah, we're not going to Walmart to look for girls, inshallah. You're going in there to buy something. You know, I need some socks. Long socks, not ankle socks, Lutfi. Little socks, I couldn't wear them. They were ankle socks. Everybody understand this? You have a what? An agenda. And while you're sitting in line, you pull out your book from your bag or your pocket and you read while they're scanning the products. While you're sitting in line, you're making mudhakara. While you're sitting in line, you pull out your phone and you're reading the hadith. You have an agenda and you're always armed for the situation. I'm stuck in traffic, pull out the book. So while they're doing nothing, you're reading. That way you can never, ever what? Lose. So this is my advice to you. And this is what I used to do, which I try to do now. You always see me want what? Some type of book, iPad, something. Everybody understand this? When we were in Medina, we go to the hospital, your daughter, this, that. You go to the airport, you go here, you there. While you're sitting and waiting, crack out a book. And wallahi, I know when I was in the hospital, my children were born there. I would have let I'm not saying it's bragging, I'm saying this in reality. I finished books. Not in my library, not in the university, in the hospital. I finished books, thick books. 1 day, 2 days, 2 hours, week, months go by, finished books, volumes. Just from sitting there, waiting for the doctor to come out. Wallahu alam. Fadl Nafis. Jazakallah khair. Shukran.
Question from online, initials AH, Toronto, Canada. My father is out of the country. What can we do if I am going to get married and we cannot wait for my father to return? Can you appoint my brother in his place as a representative, or is there a specific procedure in this case? Barakallah.
Okay, how long will the father be out of the country and why? Issues with immigration, he's overseas, getting treatment, visiting somebody that's, sick. That's one thing. If you can wait for the father to come back, that's clearly best. Without a doubt. It's easier, clearer, and it's best for the family, for everything. If you can't wait, the marriage is scheduled to be during this time, the father is going to be at least another 6 months, so on and so forth, then allow the father to delegate the son to be the wali, or the uncle or the grandfather, and not just you. And if the father delegates that, there's no sin in that. If the father doesn't delegate, he can also give his permission. He doesn't have to be there for the nikah. As long as he has his permission, he's met the brother, he knows the brother, he's checked everything out, or even Skype. It's permissible. It's permissible to do it even on the phone. As long as the man, the groom, and the father had at least, they met before. He knows him, because he can't look somebody in the eyes on Skype, Lutfi. You can't squeeze a man's hand, feel his hand. Is he nervous? Is he jittery? Is his hand too weak? He shakes my hand like this. Is he trying to crush my hand and intimidate me? Or is it just a normal, natural, firm grip? You can't get that. You can't talk with somebody. You can't sit with somebody online. Everybody understand this? So it's just that simple. Wait for the father, first step. For one reason, I don't know why, if they can't wait for the father, let the father delegate. If he can't delegate, then at least let him what? Skype. Wallahu a'lam. We have to use the technology Allah has given us. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.